The volatility would drop dramatically. There'd be price appreciation in Bitcoin. It would be good for everybody involved in crypto. But we can't do it without policy. And so everybody should just get off this let's be rogue, let's be crypto cowboys. Forget all that crap. It's time to get this real and get a tremendous amount of capital going into crypto.
Welcome to Dream Richer. We have all heard the phrase, cashless society. Going cashless is nothing new. In fact, in much of the world, digital payment tools like debit and credit cards, chip and PIN, and contactless payments have replaced the cash economy altogether. However, a whole new cashless payment method is finding its footing. As Mr. Kevin O'Leary shows today, that new method is crypto. But before we can see that happen, something very crucial must take place, and that is regulation. In particular, stablecoins will lead the way when it comes to cashless payment. A stablecoin is a digital currency pegged to a fiat currency, such as the US dollar or the euro, making it a practical and viable choice for activities that involve payments on a blockchain network, for both large and small values. Think of it as a digital wallet that is secure, fast, and affordable, while having the usability of a fiat currency. Even though Bitcoin may be the most popular digital currency out there, but its value suffers from dramatic price movements. This, however, is not the case with stablecoins. If you find the video helpful, then don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right into it.
What I'm suggesting, and I'm just one voice, but I try and say this over and over again to policymakers, is let's pick one thing. I mean, the crypto universe is so broad, it's so huge, there's so many different things going on at the same time. Let's bring policy on one thing and get that done. And what I'd like that to be is stable coins, because as a payment system right now, it would be very, very productive to bring forward some policy on stable coins and let the market compete. Now, I personally prefer ones that are backed by hard assets like the US dollar, but there's many ideas out there. Some work, some don't. Obviously, what happened with Luna was a bad outcome, but that's okay. This is a nascent industry, and we're trying different ideas, but the need for an international payment system is so huge and it's such a huge opportunity to save costs, to provide transparency, auditability, liquidity, speed, all of those things. That's what I'm suggesting. Let's pick one thing and bring policy on stablecoins. Let's nail that. And then we'll move into Bitcoin. We'll move into blockchain. We'll move into other things, but NFTs, but let's nail one thing. For all of the people in the crypto universe, and there are many, that don't think we need regulation, let me point something out that would get everybody on board. It's a very simple quantum mathematics, and here's how it works. The majority of invested capital on Earth is held by sovereign and pension plans, about 90+% of it. They own zero crypto, nothing. And so for all the excitement about Bitcoin, 800 billion, that is absolutely a giant nothing burger. It is totally irrelevant. It's not held by any institutions that matter. Now, I'm an indexer, and I've talked about this many, many times. There's many indexers in the world. We service sovereign funds, pension plans. Let's say you're an oil-rich country in the Middle East. You're making 250 million cash a day, US dollars, in oil revenues. You don't want to reinvest in oil. You want to invest in every other sector. So they'll go to an indexer like me and say, index the S&P 500, less energy, less airlines. That's the kind of index we do. So we see these fund flows, trillions of dollars of fund flows. The volatility would drop dramatically. There'd be price appreciation in Bitcoin. It would be good for everybody involved in crypto. But we can't do it without policy. And so everybody should just get off this let's be rogue, let's be crypto cowboys. Forget all that crap. It's time to get this real and get a tremendous amount of capital going into crypto, because it's policy and it gets regulated and it's good for everybody.
Bitcoin is easy to use illegally without regulatory oversight. Unfortunately, Satoshi Nakamoto's mission of ensuring that a central governing body doesn't control money is tempting for criminals. It's no secret that criminals have used Bitcoin for dark web purchases for many years. Bitcoin's regulation can correct such errors and enable it to fulfill its potential. For instance, rules can ensure that people use their real identities when buying and selling this cryptocurrency. Hence, governments can prevent repeating what happened to the Bittrex, where people used false names. However, the biggest benefit of introducing regulation is that investors will have a way to reclaim their investments if service providers ever lose them.
I think crypto will be the 12th sector of the economy within 10 years because it adds so much liquidity, so much productivity, so much transparency, so much auditability. It's so much better than what we're doing right now, which is so expensive and so slow. If I want to transfer capital over to Zurich to buy Nestle stock in Swiss francs, it takes me days and it costs me a fortune and it's incredibly inefficient. I could do it in 2 seconds with a stable coin. And I can't yet because we don't have policy on both sides of the ocean that let me do that, but it's coming one day. And I think crypto and blockchain and the services and financial transactions, microtransactions, all of it are going to lend itself to this blockchain auditability, transparency, the ledger system. It all makes sense to me. And I think regulators are starting to figure that out. Now, as an investor, I don't know which of these chains is going to win. Is Solana going to beat Polygon? Should I be in Pollen? What about, all of the others? Ethereum, of course, the big one right now, but too slow for many financial services. What's going on with, Helium and all of these different ideas out there? So my strategy is to do the same thing I do with stocks, get diversification. So I'm an investor. I'm constantly trying to find a way, the path of least resistance, to invest my capital, redeploy it. I have to look around the world for opportunities. I have to be diverse. And, crypto to me, when it was being frowned upon by regulators in a very harsh, and as a result, I'm so involved in the traditional financial services market where I'm highly regulated and I have to report almost monthly to both my internal auditors, compliance department, and external regulators all around the world, that's the world I'm used to. And I saw no relief coming from regulators. And then what turned me around, what changed me completely, was when the Canadians, the OSC, granted the very first crypto exchange license attached to a dealer broker, a compliant platform. It wasn't rogue anymore. They told Canadian citizens you can transfer your cash out of your bank into this centralized wallet and you can trade Ethereum, Bitcoin, and slowly more and more coins were added. Then they announced in Canada the very first Bitcoin ETF. Then they announced the very first ETF that was for Ethereum. They were moving forward with policy that was regulated.
It's clear from Mr. Wonderful's explanation that crypto and stablecoins are here to stay. However, as Mr. Kevin argues, all investors should demand government to bring about more regulation into the market. The main focus of interest for Kevin O'Leary right now is stablecoins. Stablecoins are here and making their presence known. Sooner or later, they will change the way people view instant payments. Even when the biggest cryptocurrencies crash and struggle to pick back up again, stablecoins and the blockchain technology they're based on can manage to survive and flourish, since it's the closest thing the world has to fiat currency and commodities. So, it's easy to see why the government should regulate crypto and stablecoins. With comprehensive regulations, governments can create a safer ecosystem for players in the crypto industry. Do you agree with more regulation? Let us know in comments below. To learn more about the latest crypto news, watch these videos here.